We're here at the SV Forum's personalized car event with Mark Platshon of BMW iVentures. So you made a comment that stuck with me, and that was that we're kind of in a time that's similar to the Gutenberg press, but this time it's the autonomous automobile. Why don't you tell us what you meant by that?
Well, what I meant is, there's this book by Steve Johnson about how we got to now. And he argues, I think very convincingly, that all these big technology transitions didn't just cause the obvious direct changes, like the printing press creating more information. They create a vast array of changes that ripple through society. And he uses the example of the printing press is that's when they figured out that people needed eyeglasses, and once they had eyeglasses, they invented telescopes and microscopes and medicine and astronomy and all these things that you wouldn't think come out of a printing press. The autonomous car is going to ripple through society in the same kinds of ways. Once you can have automated deliveries and get rid of insurance and get rid of accidents and improve safety and improve productivity, things like Uber and Instacart just ripple through society and change. I mean, I've seen my first several business plans of an Uber for kids. So carpools or, getting the kids to summer camp is suddenly, if you're a working family, suddenly works. So the richness of this starts to explode, and that's what I meant.
Well, it seems like now is a good time for those people who are thinking about the future is to think of those implications and what it means when you take away the driver or free them up to do other things.
Yeah, I mean, this gives everybody the opportunity to go invent new businesses, new services, new business models, take that cost and expense and time and redeploy it differently. So yeah, it's going to breathe a whole life into venture funds that are just like Uber, now going to live on top of that to reinvent what the car looks like, what transportation looks like, what vacationing, travel looks like, everything.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit about your role, what you do then with iVentures.
iVentures is helping BMW sort of lean forward into doing what we call mobility services. So, typical car companies are hardware companies. We build cars, we build great cars, fun cars. This car is especially fun. If everybody's changing, we understand that over time we can be a car company and a mobility services company, and we have, especially with a brand like this, really loyal, wonderful, I'll call it a community of members, our owners and drivers, where if they can have a special relationship with BMW and use us for mobility, for home solar, for electric car charging, for how they control their grid, there's a vast array of services that are kind of part of an electric car infrastructure, and we want to at least envision how those could work and start to get BMW learning about those things, investing in some of those things, and eventually deploying them. But it's a gradual process of taking kind of the old traditional company into a new world. And BMW's embraced it with the i brand and carbon fiber and electric and all that. So it's kind of fun.
I interviewed Peter a little bit earlier about Drive Now, and I suppose that's one of the things that you've done,
right? That's one of the examples, one of the test cases where we've kind of taken a whole new business model. We've taken some of our coolest, most efficient cars, deployed them in cities in Germany and now here in the United States, and adding cities and learning as we go. But it really is a transition for a big company to embrace these new entrepreneurial business models.
Excellent. With you here in Silicon Valley, it gives you a good presence on what's happening here.
They come here and they learn a lot.
Excellent. Well, I appreciate your time.
My pleasure. Thanks, Ken.